Energy really is everything. The true future of medicine is definitely not tech, not even quantum tech. And that is coming from a science teacher. Since the turn of the millennium already, many people, both healers and so called ordinary people alike, have been independently rediscovering that blocks in your energy field really are the true root of all our chronic physical problems, as well as a lot of our accidents. Before we understand how to let go of pain, the memory of it has measurable negative physical effects. Even AI confirms that this seems to be the primary block preventing ordinary natural self healing. Stuffing in your anger predicts heart problems. Repressing all of your feelings predicts muscle and skeletal problems. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Persistent stress creates inflammation and body damage, and that in turn fuels chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, and autoimmune disorders. Granted, it can be easy to argue about causes. For example, maybe all the muscle and bone problems have more to do with sitting around slouching over screens all day, huh? Perhaps emotions wouldn't predict body problems if we weren't abusing our bodies so much. Lifestyle can be an indicator for many things, but emotions are always a clear predictor, even when things as powerful as lifestyle aren't. And we inherit emotional blocks too. Rupert Sheldrake was one of many researchers who clearly demonstrated this. Rats that got shocked whenever they were exposed to a certain scent would always give birth to babies that panicked when they smelled it, even though the babies had never been shocked. And this would happen 100% of the time, which is unbelievably rare in scientific research. In fact, before the Rockefellers replaced all of the ancient healing arts with big pharma, made of big oil's petroleum pills, it was normal for people to go live with their doctor when they couldn't work. We would take health vacations that healed both the mind and the body. And everyone knows relaxation tricks of some kind. Even kids notice times when a physical problem suddenly disappears as soon as their mind feels better about something. But most still find it hard to believe that simply clearing your energy field can suddenly heal serious problems that took years to develop, like a bladder so weak you pee when you cough, or PTSD episodes from a decade of abuse. We've all been trained to think energy work is a violation of the laws of physics, rather than the designer of them. Take heart. Healers everywhere have once again openly begun working these so-called miracles. We even work with doctors already. In fact, for the last few decades, energy workers have even been able to get certified by recognized medical professionals, like renowned chiropractor Bradley Nelson's 14,000 plus emotion code certified practitioners, of which I am one. As of 2025, 82% of energy reading medical intuitives, as healers are now called, report assisting and receiving referrals from regular old school MDs. And as someone who once got every single doctor's office in the UP's biggest city to sign a petition stating that health is not their field and needs to be allowed back in, I can attest to the fact that the sides truly are coming together again. If you look around you, there are signs. They're quiet, but they yell loud. Healthy living foods are no longer illegal. That is huge. Hospitals are starting to use silver instead of bleach, which not only does it not kill off the good stuff, it's better at the getting rid of the bad stuff than bleach is. Ergonomic chairs are starting to appear everywhere, even though our society had gotten to the point where we were forcing people into the craziest looking seats on standard city buses. They were just complete C's forcing you into the worst posture. We're finally getting a clue because we've screwed everything up so bad. In the space of my lifetime, we have gone from forcing women into giving birth in the worst possible posture and keeping babies away from mom, creating maximum shock, from telling moms that addictive, nutritionally empty formula is better than whole food breast milk that even supplies your baby with immunities. Now you can get assisted with any form of natural childbirth you choose, and you can take breastfeeding classes. We have gone from publicly teaching that responsible parents force their kids to do what's required, that only a deluded person would even dream of thinking that force would not be required, and you'd have to beat them sometimes if it was really needed. Now we've learned how to reliably inspire the young without requiring anything. Freedom of choice isn't only important for approved adults. Although it does take some rewiring. I mean, even young teachers understand that mind creates matter, but that doesn't really seem to be very useful information. I mean, a healthy mind solves its own problems, and it calls it playing. But what do you do when the mind is a mess? And thinking can simply no longer be used to solve the problem. People just want to avoid bad feelings. Is there a back door to healing that doesn't need words? Something better than this good but tough mentor standard that at least it gives you an operating system that still works under stress. That back door turned out to be the original front door. Turns out it's not actually super to be able to change your programming. That's just natural maintenance. I mean, if we believe in electricity and all kinds of energy fields that affect all living things, why is it radical to think all living things have an energy body? What's weird is thinking they don't. If you're one of the skeptics, know that you do not need to surrender your critical thinking skills to try this. They're actually quite welcome. We need two legs working in opposition to walk, not just the good one. This is something you can physically verify yourself without pre-existing skills of any kind. In fact, you don't even need to be able to speak. This works really well on babies and animals, erasing unwanted behaviors and difficult body problems without any other action. I've seen people with severe trauma become trigger-free and painful memory-free in as little as 3 months of easy weekly virtual sessions. In the past, it took a few years of consistent daily interaction to really help severely abused kids, and they still never stayed fully independent in less supportive environments. It's really easy to get hooked on the victim mindset. There's a lot of junk out there encouraging it. I mean, if you get a big enough gang together, then you get to call the shots, right? Most people report finding mental health therapy rather unhelpful, unless they clear their energy field first. Then, even without the cognitive therapy, things spontaneously heal. I've seen toddlers lose extreme bug terrors, as well as physical allergies, in only a few sessions. And older folks are the ones who get the best results, not the weakest. Problems that have steadily gotten worse or gone underground all your life suddenly disappear. Even the big scary stuff, things that in the past were the hardest kinds of things to change. And thanks to the nature of energy and modern communication technology, this is something you can do in virtual sessions from your own home. Energy work is a physical service without physical limitations. Does it sound hard to believe? I mean, the placebo effect is real, right? But stop to think about it. The reason people are yammering about this stuff in the first place is precisely because it can be physically verified, even by you. Most paid healers offer to treat conditions for about $1,500 over a few months, discounted to $50 to $100 per session once or twice a week, which is certainly unbelievably less than standard medical costs. Still, even this is way too much when you're too sick to work. Most energy workers actually work for free, or they get paid by the doctors they assist instead. Doctors save huge time and money at diagnosing problems when they're assisted by verifiable energy readings. And AA is now one of them. We now offer professional energy diagnosis and clearing sessions to both doctors and individuals of all ages in your own home or office at your hourly wage, or in trade for your time if you have no income. Welcome to the revolution of sustainable business practices. We do still have links. We don't have any yet. Our YouTube playlist, reLAXx, collects the most effective relief hacks that my angels have played with over the years. So you can still go visit all those goodies. Ditch all the $20 words without insulting your intelligence or oversimplifying. Anyone can remember how to relax. This page, which is linked in the video comments, not that there's anything to look at yet, will eventually have a special section from this playlist that works like a course, teaching you how to feel subtle energies yourself so you can do your own clearings. Sure, it does take time to learn to use the skill reliably, but not as much as you'd think. Until then, you can help me build the self-help version by getting a leg up at your hourly wage. Got a few testimonials for you here for this one. The first one is my daughter. I mean, if you can't work with your kids, right? Making friends with my bad feelings made me feel so much better. I don't need to like what people do to be happy now. I cannot begin to describe what it was like to be able to hear my kid say something like that. I mean, that's about as good as it gets, right? How about this family? Even my kids' pets and husbands seemed to feel noticeably better after energy clearing sessions. I had never learned to drive in 14 years due to the stress of many horrific car accidents. After only 3 months of weekly sessions, I went from automatic blind panic to easily driving my contractor husband's big trucks, even when things go wrong. Even when you have to parallel park in a tiny little grocery store lot and all the kids are screaming, right? And then the car dies. Thoughts of her childhood abuser no longer run through her head all day, and stubborn body problems cleared up. Not even several years of therapy had really made a difference. Emotional energy clearing is the best decision she ever made for her health. That's Sam. She's age 28. The results really do speak for themselves. Namaste, my angel. I honor the divine within you.